Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again, bringing you guys another trade review. And in this trade review, we are going to go into three questions that you guys have asked me over the last week. I'm just going to take three of them that some people have asked me, answer them, and do this trade review. And then, we might talk about what I've been tweeting about in the Twitter sphere lately in the last week. Alright, so first one was UK 100. For those that haven't seen it, I posted it in my Twitter, UK 100. This was the setup, plus 450 bucks. Went on that one. And here was the signal that I told everyone about on the Twitter. Right, UK coming up into 1 hour supply zone, also inside daily supply. But let's dive into it because I know you guys, most of you guys are trading supply and demand, and you guys want to know, why and how I entered it, right? So that was the 1 hour zone. The reason why I was entering it was because prices are reacting off of a higher time frame supply zone. You guys know, anybody in the private group or have watched a lot of my videos understand that I like to use that multiple time frame analysis. So I understood that prices were coming up into a drop-based drop supply zone. So what do I want to be doing? I want to be looking for selling opportunities. Why? Because we're inside a daily supply zone. Why would I want to be looking for buying opportunities? The big money is looking at selling, right? So I went down to the 1 hour and I noticed a lot of things happening. I noticed we were breaking upward momentum. You could kind of draw it like that, or if you really want, you could draw it like that. I know some people ask me, like, how do you draw trend lines or something like that? I'm probably never going to make a video on that because everybody draws them differently. You could literally ask like 20 different people, well, how would you draw the trend line? And you're probably going to have at least 5 different ways. I educate people that join the private mentorship about how we properly draw them, but I'm not going to sit here and make a video on it because everybody kind of draws it different. What's important is that you're consistent with it. Okay, so let's use this one. That would be the momentum line. So it's also like a 4 hour momentum line too. So I saw a break in upward momentum. I saw this demand zone getting removed, two demand zones getting removed. Saw the break in downward momentum, or sorry, upward momentum, remove demand zone. So I thought like, hey, I want to be looking for selling opportunities. Why? Because price turns from inside out. Price is reacting off of that higher time frame supply zone. So what do I want to do? I want to look for selling opportunities. I saw this rally based drop supply zone at the extreme of the confirmation, right? And so I wanted to take a sell pullback. So I waited for this prices to come straight back up into it, and I sold it. Right? I got out completely, I think at 2 to 1. I made a post about it. Yeah, UK 100. It might be a bit blurry for you guys. Prices coming up into daily supply zone, drop base, drop supply. 4 hour confirmation, like I said, break of upward momentum, removing demand. Right? We talk about this all in the private group. The UK 100, 60-minute, and that's the rally base drop at the extreme. So that is why I got short there. And I did tell you guys. I'm not sure if anybody really caught it, but I made the post about it beforehand. Okay, what else did I tweet about this week? Oh yeah, I started the week really poorly. Obviously, I didn't trade Friday because, well, the markets are closed basically. It's Good Friday and then Easter Monday for a large part of the world. So I started the week 0-3, basically down 3% or something like that. I was tweeting about it, talking about how, we got to play the system, trust the system, and play the probability-based game, right? You can't judge your previous 10 trades or 5 trades based on the last 5, right? You can't just jump systems after 5 losing trades in a row, right? You need to continue to trade the same strategy. We talked about this all week. This is really what this week was about in the private group. We were talking about how you can get back on the horse after coming back from a losing streak. How do I handle it? How do I handle winning streaks, losing streaks, and all that, right? Because rarely do you just win all your trades or lose all your trades. You don't do that, right? Usually it happens in streaks, like you win 3, you lose 3, you win 2, lose 2, right? Hopefully your risk to reward is better, right? Or your win rate is better, so you end up making money. Make sense? Yeah, I even talked about it. Most people are messaging me all upset, looking for the reason why they lost after going 0-3, right? Stick to the plan, trade the plan, right? I lose 3, I don't even worry. Why? Because I trust in my system and I'll play the probability-based game. Okay, so that basically wraps up the trade review. So something else we're going to talk about now is 3 questions I got throughout this week. Well, we'll do that last. We'll do that last because it's really just for those guys that ask the questions. This maybe not everybody has the same questions. But I was making some other tweets throughout the week, blowing up some other controversial things. But this is mind blowing. This is YouTube for you. I made a tweet about this talking about your YouTube. The word. I can't say it because they will ban me or they will limit me to what I can say, and they will take down my video and they will make sure I don't get any views on it because it's true. Small creators get blocked, right? They are getting, not, I don't want to say shadow banned. I'm not shadow banned at all. But when you have a crisis like this, they put up the big news sources first. What was I saying? It's mind blowing that when you YouTube that word, and all you get is the big media. You never find the small creators like I was talking about because it's classified as fake news. YouTube is pushing their hidden agenda, which is really interesting. You literally YouTube what I talked about, and what you will find is the mainstream media and only the mainstream media. You will never find small creators. Like if we go to my YouTube, we type in the word, you know, the hoax. What do you find? Top news, global news, global news, global news. That's my local news source, so it's going to recommend it to me. Why? Because they're real news. But even if you keep scrolling down, right? What do you see? NBC, Time, NBC, MSN, CNBC, Sky News, ABC. What the fuck is this guy doing here? The late night show. Yeah, like I really need to be listening to this fucking idiot talking about his points of view on Mr. Donald and his view on the whole pandemic. It makes no fucking sense. Like, why the hell is this idiot here? Like, come on. I can't even report him. I can report, but I can't hide him. What do we got? Vice News. So you literally have to keep scrolling, and you might think, hey, you only have to scroll 1 or 2 pages. No. Right? This is YouTube pushing their agenda, claiming that they are real news. They made the adjustment over the summertime, talking about how they're gonna, limit the small creators. They're gonna push the big news. So basically, they're pushing their agenda, brainwashing people. It's fucking bullshit. So don't ever listen to these people. So what are we? 10 pages in, 15 pages in. Let's do a refresh. What are we looking at? Let's do one more for good luck. Global News, CNN, Global News, um, TRT World, Fox Business, MSN, right? Time, LBC. You got to go way down. These are still ridiculous. So a good one that I would recommend for you guys to listen to. It's a good video. It's London Real TV. They made a live stream on YouTube, and the video got pulled instantly. But after they live streamed it on YouTube, and then as soon as the live stream finished, they pulled it instantly. So they have it up on their website. If you guys are looking for a good listen to this one. The coronavirus. Oh shit, I said it. Fuck. I'm done. I'm getting terminated. Um, how will it seize your rights and destroy your economy, our economy? I recommend that. It's about a 2 hour listen. Strongly recommend that. I don't recommend many stuff, but when I do, I recommend stuff that I use, right? You'd be surprised. I get advertisements, people coming to me saying, hey, do you want to advertise our product? Do you want to advertise our broker? We'll sponsor you. If I don't use it, I don't want to recommend it, right? If I don't think it's a good service, I don't recommend it. I lose out money on that. I definitely do. But you know what? I value you guys. I value you guys clicking on these videos, liking it, supporting everything. So I appreciate you guys just hitting that subscribe button and all that. So that's basically that. We'll talk about 3 questions now. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you guys have any questions, you know what to do. You always just message me. So question number 1 was talking about drawing zones, basically. Question number 2, original zones versus inheritance. And then third question is, um, why would I trade that zone and why would I not, right? So drawing zones, it's pretty simple. I did a whole tips playlist on this and I answer it really well. Let me see. Playlist, videos, So what is supply and demand? How to identify supply and demand zones? How to read price action? How to draw the supply and demand zones? So I really don't want to get too much into it because those videos answer extremely well. I have like literally hundreds of videos talking about the supply and demand methodology, right? But in the course, we kind of dive deep into the mentorship about why there's certain zones that we trade and why not, right? If I talk about that, it goes over most people's heads, right? So if I was to draw, let's just say this zone right here, I'm trying to find the bottom of the wicks and the top of the wicks. Basically, not the top of the wicks, but the base, the meat of the orders, right? You never see me draw wick to wick. Why? Because look what prices happened when they left. Where did prices leave from? Did they leave from here or here, right? Here or there? They left from down here, right? So I want to get to the closest origin of that imbalance because that is where the buyers are. So what I'm going to do is you could draw it like that if you really wanted to, or you could draw it like that. I wouldn't want to draw it like this because that's not really where the move happened. I'd draw it like that. It's the same thing with here. Before prices, this is something that we do in the private group. We go, before prices left this zone, did prices drop from, here, or did it drop from here, right? It dropped from here, up in here, right? Prices rallied all the way up here before dropping. So how would I draw this? I do my distal line at the top of the wicks for supply, and then at the base for demand. Just trying to highlight that zone of where the meat of the orders are located. Make sense? Right? If I was to draw, say, this one, right? How would I draw this one? I would draw to the closest of the origin as possible. Drop, base, rally. Let's say, how would I draw this? I see base, 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 drop. If you really wanted to, you could just pick the wicks. I talked about that in the how to draw tips video, but I never draw them like that. I draw them bases to wicks, right? Bottom of the base for supply, top of the wicks for supply, right? Now say, let's go real time. Where is price? I don't know. Let's just delete. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the daily time frame. This is New Zealand USD. If I was to draw supply and demand zones, well, it looks like we have one right here. Base, right? These are imbalances. Strong moves, imbalance. My eyes aren't going to the bases. My eyes are going to the imbalance, right? Now you might be thinking, hey, is this a demand zone? I would never trade at that zone. Why? What is the difference between this zone and this zone? Do you see an imbalance? Do you see the strong move away? If there really was a strong imbalance or strong move away, prices wouldn't sit here sideways. They would go up quickly, right? Right here, what happened? They went down quickly. They went down quickly, right? Now you also got to ask the next question is what makes a zone a tradable zone and a non-tradable zone? I'm not going to get into this. I could keep going for like hours and hours and hours. Literally could. But if I want to draw zones, well, looks like there's a big base right here, right? I'm sure you're going to have some demand in there. I mean, there's zones everywhere, but I don't trade the shitty ones like this one. Why the hell would I want to trade at this? Right? There's no imbalance. There's no strong move away. Yes, it continued the trend. So what I see this as, you might find a rally-based drop right up here on maybe the 4-hour. What did I say? You're going to find a rally-based drop at the 4-hour. So at one time, this was a rally-based rally, rally-based rally, right? That since got removed. What am I doing? I'm going to the basing candles. You notice I'm never drawing them like this, like that as supply or that as supply, right? I'm always picking the extreme of where prices started to leave, right here, right? How would I do this one? I do this one like this. How would I do this one? I do this one like this. Do this one like this, right? Now, I think that answers that question. There's a whole list of reasons why. Um, I have my other tips videos for that, so I'm not going to get into that right now. That's why I made them. If you wanted more help, I would recommend joining the private group, right? Or feel free just to Twitter me, message me, Instagram me, Facebook message me. 10 charts, no, don't do 10 charts. 3 charts of just supply and demand zones. Say, are these zones drawn correctly? I will answer that question for you. Next one, original zones versus zone inheritance. Okay, so what I did is I just popped open the book that every person that gets it, that joins the private group, so help you understand the zone inheritance. So usually what the zone inheritance is, I'm not going to spend too much time over this. There's like a whole fucking book that talks about this. Um, Basically, these two supply zones didn't accomplish anything. They didn't remove an opposing demand zone. They didn't break up momentum. So I wouldn't call these tradable zones, right? But this zone right here ended up removing this demand zone. So this is the concept of zone inheritance. These two supply zones, drop, base, drop, rally, base, drop, didn't remove a demand zone, right? This is the supply zone that ended up removing this demand zone. So this makes it a tradable zone, and therefore any zones above it for supply or below it for demand is now considered a tradable zone. That just helps me determine if it's a quality zone or not, okay? Rally, base, drop, drop, base, drop, okay? It's the same thing, hold up. Same thing for demand. This rally, base, rally did not remove any supply zone up and to the left. It was this demand zone that removed the supply zone up and to the left. That makes it a tradable zone. So then therefore this zone is created as a tradable zone. Okay? I think that basically wraps it up. And what makes me trade at like one zone from another? Well, it's the quality, right? How much time spent at the zone before leaving. So if we look at, I made a post about this in the Discord group, but I don't want to bring it up right here. We could talk about, okay, here it is. You gotta remember, we are imbalanced traders, not imbalance. We are imbalance. We look for, imbalances in the market, not balance. This is sideways action. This is prices just going sideways. I would never want to trade in a place like this. There is no movement happening. There is no imbalances. There's no quality zones. The only quality zone would be right here, demand. I don't see any quality supply. I don't see any quality supply. Too much time spent. It didn't accomplish anything that we said earlier. Compare those zones to say this zone, right? Strong move away, distance move away, time spent. It's all these reasons. I'm not going to get into it because I'm just realizing every time I answer these questions, I could spend hours and hours talking about that. And that's exactly what I do in the private group. If anybody has any questions about anything, I'll make a video for them, 10, 20 minutes, and we'll talk about why I entered this trade and why I didn't on this one, right? Why is this a quality setup and why is this not a quality setup, right? This is the problem with YouTube and, the Google information overload, as I like to call it, because there's so much information out there on the internet, it makes it so easy to get it, right? And as soon as you have one question, you have a second question. And if you're not inside a private group or with anybody, it makes it extremely hard to fully understand the methodology because you don't have full trust in it. You don't understand all the pieces. You don't see how the puzzle fits together, right? And that's when the private mentorship or private group understanding methodology comes in handy, right? That's why we have the daily recap videos. That's why we have the 2x weekly mentor meetings for Q&A, and we go over the week ahead for Sundays, right? We go over Wednesday everybody's trades that people take, talking about, hey, is it a good trade? Is it a bad trade? They have access to me one-on-one if they need it, for free. I don't fucking charge. I hate people that charge. I know people that sit there, they join people's group, and then they want to have a 10-minute conversation, and they say, "Yeah, I'll bill you for $50 or $100 an hour." What else? The networking community, right? Just being surrounded with other like-minded traders trading the same methodology. You're not learning from 20 different traders online. You don't give a fuck about what other people are saying on the internet. You just focus on your network and your strategy. It's so much easier. But besides that, I will let you guys go. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, right? So hopefully you enjoyed the first half. The second half was just me answering questions. So if you did make it this far, I appreciate you doing that. Leave a like, subscribe if you want. If you have any questions about supply and demand, your trading, about anything, I will answer it, no problem. All right. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend or a great week. Enjoy the long weekend. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye bye.